Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
This is 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review-Journal.
Good evening, I'm Jen Ah. Thanks for joining us on 7 at 7. Starting off with some sad entertainment news, sponsored by DiscoverYourNevada.com, brought to you by Travel Nevada. We're waiting to learn more about how a famed music director from Las Vegas suddenly died. Michael Brennan reportedly told his friends he wasn't feeling well just days before, that he possibly had COVID. Review Journal's John Katslamidis has more.
His mark was felt all across the city. Brennan was found dead while on vacation in Florida on Wednesday. He was just 47 years old. There was no sign of foul play in his passing. No cause and manner has yet been listed. Brennan was the music director at Reve for 10 years at Wynn Las Vegas. He also worked on Avenue Q, Starlight Express, Steve Wynn's Showstoppers, Mamma Mia, and he also co-founded the Composers Showcase with Keith Thompson. Keith tells me that they will plan to pay tribute to Brennan in the February 23rd show at Myron's at the Smith Center, and Brennan will be sorely, sorely missed.
In other top stories, sponsored by Nevada Hand Silver Sky Assisted Living Community. Learn more at nevadahand.org. Prosecutors can now access the medical records of Henry Ruggs' girlfriend. The judge made that ruling today. Ruggs, a former Raider star, faces 4 felony charges for the crash that killed a Las Vegas woman in November. Prosecutors say they're still trying to prove Ruggs' girlfriend Rudy Washington also suffered substantial bodily harm. And tackling the COVID surge and the Omicron variant, Governor Steve Sisolak just announced our state has ordered 500,000 at-home testing kits, which should arrive in a few weeks.
This order is being covered by federal COVID relief funding. This is the test that I'm speaking of.
He says these at-home tests should ease the long lines at COVID testing sites, and all COVID mandates will remain the same. Plus, police revealed body cam footage of the officer-involved shooting that left 1 man dead and 2 officers injured. Las Vegas police say their SWAT officers were involved in this search warrant Monday at an apartment on South Nellis Boulevard when 19-year-old Isaiah Williams shot at the officers from his couch, leading to the shootout.
And you can see where the shield was struck by gunfire. So when the suspect was laying on the couch, he not only had the opportunity to fire at the officers on the entry team, but he also fired rounds through the window at the officers that were on the outside. Officer
Kerry Kubla is reportedly still in the hospital after being struck multiple times. But detectives say Williams was not the suspect in the November 2021 homicide, and the suspect was not found in the apartment. In weather, we're looking at a cloudy but pleasant night. Temps still in the high 50s for a change. We'll get down to the 40s later. On Friday, expect partly cloudy skies with around 15 mile-per-hour winds, high of 68 and low of 41 degrees. The temps will get a bit cooler for your weekend, with the clouds lingering until Tuesday. In business, sponsored by Bank of Nevada, Bank on Accountability. How's Las Vegas's economy looking for 2022? That's what will be discussed at the Vegas Chamber's largest annual networking event called Preview Las Vegas, along with a trade show displaying goods from local companies. Topics include Southern Nevada's hospitality, tourism, water, and sports with the theme Battle Reborn. Preview Las Vegas is coming up at Allegiant Stadium next Tuesday at 8:30 a.m.
Sports, sponsored by Station Casinos, STN Sports. Download the app and get a bonus up to $100 when you sign up. After returning to the lineup in the win over the Chargers, Raiders tight end Darren Waller was limited in practice this week. On Thursday, Rich Bisaccia gave an update on his game status.
We gave him a couple more reps in each of the red zone periods and a couple more reps in each of the field periods today. And so, again, we'll see what his soreness level is tomorrow, but he looked better this week than he did a week ago, so hopefully it'll show up in the game.
Sports betting, sponsored by Las Vegas Paiute Tribal Smoke and Cigar Shop. Circus Sports has odds on all 98 possible Super Bowl exactas, with the shortest odds, the Packers beating the Chiefs at 11-1, the Raiders defeating the Eagles and vice versa pays 2,000-1. The odds on the Raiders beating the Cardinals is 850-1, the 49ers 675-1, the Rams and Cowboys 375-1, the Buccaneers 300-1, and the Packers 175-1.
In health, members of National Nurses United are gathering across the country today in protest, including here in Las Vegas. Review Journal's Renee Summerhour has more on why. Renee?
Jen, the organization, which is described as the nation's largest union of registered nurses, said today that they are intending to raise awareness of the conditions nurses are facing in hospitals across the country. The release said, quote, "The United States is not experiencing a nursing shortage, only a shortage of nurses willing to risk their licenses or their safety of their patients by working under the unsafe conditions imposed by them by profit-driven employers."
When we have about 50% of the nurses calling in every single day because they're sick and then they're being forced to come back to work with mild symptoms. This just puts a burden on everybody else, including the patients.
According to the release, many nurses are frustrated with the CDC's weakening COVID isolation guidelines and the Occupational Safety and Health Administration's intention to withdraw critical COVID protections for healthcare workers amid the latest Omicron surge. Jen?
In response, Mountain View Hospital's parent company says it offered pandemic pay and masking requirements ahead of the national standard. And, quote, "No one cares more for our colleagues than we do." Back in September, the nurses approved a new union contract that promised more protection and pay increases. In lifestyle, it's now the oldest hotel in Las Vegas. Golden Gate is celebrating its 116th birthday this year. Owner Derek Stevens says this iconic hotel casino on Fremont Street is what old Las Vegas represented, and he's always felt an obligation to preserve its history. Thank you for watching 7 at 7. If you have a Roku device, just search Review Journal to download our channel. Watch Las Vegas breaking news streaming live on your OTT device. We'll see you back here tomorrow for more 7 at 7.
Review Journal Studio, sponsored by Adam Kuttner. Get the maximum settlement as quickly as possible. This 7 at 7 update, sponsored by Pro Group Management. You're watching 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review Journal.